Well, Thomas Partey is considering quitting Arsenal or is considering his future at Arsenal anytime from now. Rokani Media Football it is. This is the Football News Show where we discuss lots of things concerning football. And here we come to discuss Thomas Partey in particular. Arsene Wenger is in the mix discussing the very good start of Tottenham Hotspur this season. And lastly, we are going to be talking about Gavi as Chelsea are really planning a €100 million move for the Spanish international who plays for Barcelona. So, hope you guys are doing fine. And this is Rokani David onto the Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button close to 300 times. Don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's going to be Carabao Cup night. That is on Wednesday. And today in the morning, we are obviously starting off the morning with the Arsenal match preview, featuring the predicted starting 11 and what the stats say about Arsenal and West Ham down there. Remember, Arsenal is going to be paying a visit to West Ham. Man United is entertaining Newcastle at the Old Trafford Stadium. That is the Carabao Cup, and very many other teams like Liverpool are into the mix, and very many others, Chelsea and others. Now, let's start it off with Thomas Partey considering his future at Arsenal. Now, let's obviously start it off with the following. This is the 4-4-2 via 90-minute football. They've gone ahead and confirmed us that Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey is considering his future after not featuring so much this season. Thomas Partey is seriously considering his Ghana's career after barely featuring in the Premier League so far this term. The Ghanaian international has been injured for a big portion of the season. However, he was close to a move to Saudi Arabia this summer, while Italian sides were also tracking him. Arsenal are expected to move for new midfielders, with Douglas Luiz one of their preferred choices. Now, considering your future raises loads of things, and that obviously shows you exactly what's running in the mind of the player. For Thomas Partey, he has to understand that his tenure at Arsenal is going to have to come to an end, because one will say it's all about the age, but it's about the age, because we've seen players in the Premier League play until 34, 35 years of age, and they obviously still continue doing the needful at the field of play. And to me, the problem is he cannot compete favorably with other players at Arsenal because of the injuries that have gone ahead to affect his career ever since he came in at Arsenal. Even this season, the most worrying of it all is when he missed out on the game of Sevilla, when he really got injured during the last training session as Arsenal prepared to take on Sevilla. That's really the worst moments that Thomas Partey is going to hate to have at Arsenal. He's not getting enough playing time because of his injuries. Before he got injured, Arteta was playing him as a right back for the side of Arsenal. When he got injured, Benny White got back into his position of the right back position, and he started to play there. Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes into their central defense partnership, Zinchenko as the left back for the side of Arsenal. So let no one lie to you that Arsenal is really in need of service of Thomas Partey anymore, because if you can't stay fit, then your services are not needed at the club. That's a fact that might be haunting to the fans of Thomas Partey, but even me, I love Thomas Partey as a player. I idealize him as a player, and him being African, representing Africa in the best league in the world, that obviously supersedes everything that makes me love him. I admire the player. He has gone ahead to look good and solid every time he plays for Arsenal, but it looks like he cannot cope up with the pace at which the squad of Arsenal is really requiring him to move at. His non-availability has gone ahead to really see the likes of Jorginho getting more playing time than him. Ever since he returned from injury, he had played only 20 minutes for Arsenal and 90 minutes for the Ghanaian national team in the international break. 45 minutes versus Mexico and 45 minutes versus USA. That's Thomas Partey for you. And him considering his future, it's really the best thing for him to do. He should say his bye-byes at Arsenal in the summer, because he's not going to become more better. Arsenal fusers have been some of the best. Have gone ahead to keep their team, their players fit But on Thomas Partey, they've gone ahead and failed. So their failure obviously shows you that Thomas Partey is not really one of those players that will survive the Arsenal exit. Arteta blocked his exit this recently concluded summer. Teams in Saudi Arabia were interested in him. Juventus wanted him, but Arteta blocked his departure. And he obviously said, you are going nowhere. So this time around, I don't think that Mikel Arteta will have any reason of obviously keeping this player at his side. So the most important thing for Thomas Partey is to see to it that at least he wins a major trophy for Arsenal. You know, not the Community Shield or the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. He should lift the Premier League or the Champions League for the club of Arsenal. That's what we call a major trophy for the Arsenal side. And we all pray to it that it goes that way, because he has gone ahead to be one of those players responsible for Arsenal getting back in the Champions League, and he needs to keep going and really take them to the place where they deserve to be. So to me, Thomas Partey is right to consider his future after this season, because it looks like Arsenal is going to bring in more players and he's not going to be able to compete with them. We look at Douglas Luiz, we look at players like Tchouaméni, Zubimendi, players that are not really injury prone. It shows you exactly that he cannot compete at that level, and he's obviously going to be one of those that doesn't obviously feature more regularly into the team of Arsenal. And what shows you that he cannot compete in the central midfield and Declan Rice has gone ahead to come in through and really look like a better player than Thomas Partey, it's what Arteta really decided to play him as a right back and not play him in the midfield, you know? So it shows you exactly what Arteta has in his mind. Partey, age is not on his side. He has hit his third decade, and obviously things are not going on well. So it's better he decided to go to Saudi Arabia, either to make money or he goes to the Italian Serie. And I think it was really painful last season for Xhaka to depart without Arsenal lifting the trophy, but it will be very painful if at all Arsenal don't lift a major trophy in the career of Thomas Partey. But all in all, I see Thomas Partey leaving the club of Arsenal. That is it. And I think Arsenal might even go for two more central midfielders next season, because El Nini might leave, Partey might leave, even Jorginho might leave. That is it. So let no one lie to you about Thomas Partey, and this is all a narrative that is really right, and no one has the right to obviously stop it, because Thomas Partey himself is obviously looking out of the club of Arsenal. Now, leaving Thomas Partey there, as you guys throw your reactions to the comment section below on whether he should stay or go, let's go to Arsene Wenger, a former Arsenal manager who knows what the derby is all about. Northern Ireland derby, the rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. He was asked about Tottenham Hotspur's start of the season. He said, I like always to say that I feel deeply, and I believe Tottenham will be one of the contenders for the league. They bought Maddison, who is a great player and who is that link from low midfield to high midfield, and added some technical creativity to the team. They bought Van der Ven, who I find exceptional. They find him absolutely exceptional. I find him absolutely exceptional. They had weakness there at the back, and last year Hugo Lloris didn't have the best of the seasons as well. And overall, the movement from Son into the middle looks very good. That's what Arsene Wenger is obviously talking about. Now, if you're someone else there and you are not putting respect to Ange Postecoglou, obviously you might not be made for football. He has gone ahead to do his part. Even the professor, Arsene Wenger, is going to hate to obviously give him his flowers. And he deserves them, because for everyone who really plays very well, does them. But the big question is, it's not the first time Spurs are really starting like this, and they are really on top of the table, all in the top 4. Even last season, 10 matches played, I think even 17 before we went to the World Cup, Antonio Conte was really, I think, was he third or second in the league. And we're all saying that when we return from the World Cup, we go to the Champions League, we go to the January transfer window, he's obviously going to really get him, is going to get him the best that he deserves as far as the players are really concerned. That never happened, and Spurs never found themselves competing, and they never even completed into the top positions to see that they qualify for Europe. That is it for Tottenham Hotspur. So this time round, we should wait and see that if Spurs really hit 15 games, 20 games, when they're still on top of the table or in the top 4, then they'll be putting up what we call the case to obviously chase for the trophy. But Arsene Wenger is telling us right, they are playing some wonderful football, 1 game per week, but that mentality, is it obviously going to really eat them up, or obviously not eat them up? We wait and see how that pans out for the side of Tottenham Hotspur, and they are yet to play a series of some huge games this season. They haven't played against Chelsea, they haven't played against Man City, Newcastle. So we'll wait and see how the first phase is going to end. December is going to give us a very good picture of how this is gonna be. Now let's go to the last story that is obviously headlining this episode. It's all about Gavi. It's coming in from Dario Sport that Chelsea are reportedly interested in a potential €100 million transfer deal for Barcelona midfielder Gavi, with the Catalans giants under pressure to make a big sell to aid their financial problems. Now, Gavi is a good player, and I think he's one of those players that really fits well into the Premier League. He's a fighter, talented, and plays in very many positions. Can play in the central midfield, left forward, right forward, and so on and so forth. Barcelona is really sunk into what we call huge problems at their side, and if money like this comes in through, for them to resist is going to be really a huge decision to be taken by Joan Laporte, their president, and they need to obviously get it right, because if they don't, then the team might sink. We look at the players that are really replacing Sergio Busquets with Romeo. Is not the caliber of player they should be having. They wanted Ruben Neves, but they couldn't raise that amount of money to see to it that that player comes up and obviously plays part into their team. So they are really sunk into huge debts, and they cannot obviously put themselves to where they deserve to be. And right now, all I want to let you know is simple, that Barcelona might be willing to sell, but for Chelsea, is it the right move to do? Obviously, I tell you no. They have Mikhailo Modric, obviously coming good of late, but is another €100 million player. They're having Enzo Fernandez, another €100 million player. Caicedo, another €100 million player. So I think it doesn't make sense to do it that you continue doing all this, in the same way. Why don't they go for some other players, cheaper, but really good? And I think Pochettino is really good at that. So wait and see whether Chelsea will go in for that. But all that and more into the comment section. Tell me your thoughts about Thomas Partey considering quitting Arsenal. And what do you make about the main man, that is Arsene Wenger, hailing the man at Spurs and the entire team at large, that is Ange Postecoglou? And lastly, what are your thoughts about Gavi to Chelsea, €100 million transfer to Chelsea? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. See you in the next 2-3 hours to come from now.